All right. Sorry. Can you guys hear me now? Hopefully. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Sorry, guys. That was my bad. All right. So let's talk about. Sorry. All right. Cool. Sorry about that. Let me hold on. Let me switch the audio device real quick. Actually, we're good. We can just leave it. All right. Hey, Emma. All right. So what I want to talk about, Verus just put out a wallet release. Actually, a couple minutes before I went live. So if you guys are running Verus, make sure you update the wallet. I do know some people that were having some issues with wallet. Yes, Alex, I need somebody to click buttons for me. That's exactly what I need. So there were some people that were having problems bridging currencies using identities on Verus. And so I know that they've been working on that over the past week. I think they figured out what is needed and didn't have to make protocol changes, but they did have to make some adjustments to the wallet. So they are doing that. You want a face reveal? Yeah, you've seen my face. Okay. All right. Every time you open the wallet, regardless of the version, you have to rebootstrap. Yeah, the wallet does have some weird quirks to it. In fact, I kind of wanted to talk about the wallet today. So this is a test wallet I have. One of the things I wanted to do today, hey Randy, is I wanted to show how easy it is to convert currencies within the wallet. Now, hey Randy, so the wallet itself does have its quirks, especially with the blockchains. And it's mainly because it's running full nodes for everything. And it's very resource intensive. I know that they're trying to work on that, especially around the memory compression. And so, what we have here is we've got some funds on the VRR chain, which is the merge mineable pirate chain. And then I got celebrities in the house. Yeah. Hey, Tech Man. Yeah, it does. It eats a lot of RAM. I can actually see this is actually running on a mini PC, and I'm running both daemons. I can see what that thing is. Where's Task Manager? And like it's weird, Rick. Like I know a lot of people have been complaining about its consumption, but like right now on mine, now I'm not staking or mining with it, but it's only using 268 megabytes. So I don't know what the deal is with a lot of people having issues. But what I wanted to do today is I wanted to show you how easy it is to convert and to also add coins from kind of their whole platform. And I wanted to talk about the price of Verus because right now, it could be Linux. I'm running this in Windows, so that's very possible. So the price of Verus that you see on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko is not the accurate price. So they have in wallet on chain DeFi. So when you're merge mining these coins, you have the capability to basically swap everything within the wallet. So if you look on the Pirate Chain wallet, I've got these 4 currencies essentially. And then on the Verus one, I've got these 4. And there's a lot more you can add. So if you go to the multiverse section, you go to the chain. These are all of the coins. Some of these are full blockchains. Some of these are tokens. And you can add all of these into the wallet. Hey, D miners. Your car? Yeah, I got news on the car. We'll talk offline. And then Same thing with the pirate chain. So it's a full blockchain, so they have the ability to do tokens on that. So even though they're leveraging Verus for the algorithm, for the security, for everything else, you still have the ability to do tokens on pirate chain. So what I want to do today is, and you also still have the ability to do the IDs. So you can see I have a identity on Verus, and then I also have an identity on VR. This allows you to do the staking, the mining, all of that stuff. Staking on the pirate chain right now is super easy. In fact, you can see that I minted a couple blocks. Actually, those two were just 3 days apart when I was staking, and this is just on a mini PC. And that was staking with only 25 coins at the time. So, did I get? No, I did not get a new one. So to do the conversion, there's a couple ways you can do it. You want to do it from the source wallet. So in this scenario, okay, yeah, give it a shot in Windows and see if it works. I know a lot of people really like the mobile wallet too. There is a mobile wallet, and it's not updated as frequently as the desktop wallet, but a lot of people have had luck with that one as well. But all you have to do is when you're in the wallet, you go to convert currencies, and there's a simple and an advanced mode. Actually, before we do that, should probably grab a wallet address. I think it'll pop. Okay. So what we can do is it'll show us our balance in VR. It's going to ask us what currency do we want to convert to. So these are all of the currencies that we're able to convert to based on how our wallet is configured. Hey, what's up, Hawk? And so what you do is you need to decide whether you want to convert it on the VRR chain and leave it there, or whether you want to convert it and bridge it back to the Verus native chain. So for me, I want to take my merged mining rewards of VRR and convert them to native Verus. So to do that, I'm going to look for the VRSC, and it says to VRSC network via bridge.var. So what this is going to do is if I do like 75, that's going to convert that to 10.39 Verus. And then in the destination, we can put in the wallet address, which is actually going to be this. I'm going to set the refund and the wallet to the same. The refund is in the event it fails, where the funds go back to. Oh gosh. Alex wants a wrench now. Gosh, you guys are crazy. Crazy. All right. So I'm going to do I'm going to set the refund address to be my identity, just in case this does fail. And then it gives you the estimated conversion fee that it's going to cost, the network fee. Now, what is nice about this is I am bridging to the native VRSC chain. However, I don't have to have any VRSC to do it, like you would with like Ethereum or Solana. It uses the native, or it uses the token you're converting from always. So then you're going to do, now you're going to notice the time can be lengthy, and this is because it's actually submitting it on chain. And I'm going to pull up, before I do the conversion, let me pull up an article for you guys. So there are two sites that I'm going to show you. This is the first one, and this is the second one. So, and I'm going to pull up CoinGecko, and we're going to pull up, I think it's Verus Coin. Nope. Okay. So you can see on CoinGecko right now, Verus is $1.12. But if we look at the DeFi protocol, Verus is actually $1.21 on chain. So it's 7.31% higher than what's on Coin Paprika, which is basically the same as CoinGecko. And this is because CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, Coin Paprika, they only pull off of the centralized exchanges. So they're pulling off of TradeOgre. They're pulling off of, all right, say Hawk. They're pulling off TradeOgre. They're pulling off of ZegX. What other markets do they pull from? Safe Trade. Sorry, they're pulling TradeOgre, non-KYC, Safe Trade, and also Komodo. So they're not pulling all the on-chain stuff. So if you're just going and you're looking at prices for what is on those platforms, thinking that's the current trading price of Verus, it's not actually accurate. If you do the in-wallet trades, then it's a lot higher. Hey, thanks, Hawk. Appreciate you. Hey, Alexandra. Thanks for stopping in. So that kind of gives you an idea of the price difference. And this gives you also the VETH. So the ETH price right now on chain is actually 0.16% higher than it is on all centralized exchanges. And then if we hop over to Pirate Chain, maintains their own stats for their chain on that bridge. And what you can see is VRSC is $1.18. So it's a little bit less than native chain, but it's still 5.3% higher than all centralized exchanges. And Pirate Chain is 1.55% higher than all centralized exchanges. And then this is the total amount of liquidity that is sitting in the on-chain DeFi pool. So this is the max that you would be able to convert, but this gives you an idea of why the numbers aren't exactly accurate when you're looking at market aggregators for Verus. So you may not see a lot of price movement. In fact, if you look at the past month, you can see it's been relatively stable the whole time other than those two dips. But on chain, it's always been higher. And so it will take a little bit longer to run that conversion. So when we hit convert currencies, we're going to say confirm. And it's going to say transaction posted. And then in this overview tab, once the next block gets found, it will reflect right here and it'll show it as pending. And then you'll see your balance decrement. And then here you can see, so it got sent, hasn't been converted yet. So we sent 75 of that token. And now if you want to view it on chain, you can view it on the Explorer. And then you're simply waiting for the chain to do the swap. And then once it comes back, it'll automatically be in the native Verus wallet. And then the process is the same if you want to swap from Verus to the VRR chain. So this is essentially how you would take your merge mining rewards for Pirate Chain and swap them back to native Verus if you wanted. All right. Rick wanted to talk about risk-free hardware. Boop, boop, boop. I also want to talk about Caspa mining today. That's going to be fun. All right. So RISC-V, we have lots of hardware. I think Panda posted something about, you want to go Caspa? We talk Caspa. Is Hawk still here? He's going to want to retract that super chat when I talk about this. So let me give me 1 second. I put together a spreadsheet that I sent out to a couple people that were looking to get into Caspa mining. And let me just see if I can find that real quick. Okay, to this one. Let me see if I can. Should be fine. Okay. All right. So what I did is, you got another Ultra today? Nice. Now this is for the KS5 Pro. Basically what I did is I took, and I did this on the 7th. I did this a few days ago. right when the reward reduction happened. And I said, all right, at my power cost and the current price of the KS5 Pro from Terra, which was the cheapest I could find it at this point. So they're charging $11,750 for the KS5 Pro. And that's for like the August batch, I think. In order to get that ASIC, if you bought it today at that price, you would and Caspa price stayed the same. And I'll explain why I did that. So no price increase. You would make it until May of next year. And this assumes you changed it. Is it lower now, Hawk? Or did the price go up? Just let me know. So this was from a few days ago. So assuming the price of Caspa didn't change and you wanted to invest, it's lower now. Okay, cool. You wanted to basically buy a KS5 Pro. If the hash rate increased at the same rate it increased from June to July, and the reward reduction stayed intact the way it is, then you would basically make back by May of next year, you would make back 8,169, and then it would go into negative profitability. Now, this assumes a monthly hash rate increase of what we were seeing on chain, and then the monthly reward reduction as well. And so the whole point of putting this together was to figure out at what point would we break even versus just buying the coin. And so a bunch of people approach me and say, hey, we're approached about Caspa mining, and they had questions about profitability, whether they thought it was worth it. And so I went ahead and put this together for them just at a high level to give them an idea of, because their thought was, should I just spend 12 grand on the coin or should I spend 12 grand on the hardware? And yeah, the price is going to go up, but regardless of whether you buy the coin or the hardware goes up, you're still benefiting from that. You're not benefiting more by having the hardware. Right, but Steven, if the price goes up though and you bought the coin, you're still in the same amount of profit, right? So it's definitely, this was just kind of an indication for them to say, hey, at that price. Now, obviously, the price has now dropped by $600 on the ASIC, so it looks a little better now. Hey, Dave. And so this was just kind of one of those things to look at that, July of this year, right now, the block reward is 98. Now, this also assumes you're only getting the base block reward. And that I know with Casplex and everything, there's a very good chance you're going to get a lot more fees based on usage, utilization. This doesn't account for any of that. So if there's mass adoption and there's a large influx of fees, this changes, then it does become more advantageous to buy the hardware most likely. But you're still taking a gamble on, a year out. You're basically looking at like 8 months of mining right now. And we did notice a massive hash rate increase that came online right after I did this chart. So take that for what you will. But essentially what you're looking at is how much did I put in the phones? Oh gosh, I don't know. So I have a tablet farm and I have a phone farm. The tablet farm was all bought throughout years on Amazon, mainly Black Friday. So most of those devices were like sub $40, like $30 to $40 range for those octa-cores. As far as the AO3Ss, all of those were bought brand new, one by one. I accumulated those over time, and they were all purchased at retail, so $50 a phone. All right. Update on the cell hasher. Yeah, I do need to make a updated video. I want to talk to Luke. So if you guys aren't aware of Luke, he's one of the Litecoin devs. He's also the owner of sellhasher.com. He's the one that actually sells those units. And he's going to be at Litecoin Summit. So we've been talking. We're going to meet up. We're going to have some conversations around the cell hasher and some of the things that we can do with it. We were working on, I'm trying to help them build out some of the software for it. And so we're making progress on it. It's just been kind of slow. He recently had a baby. And so with the newborn and everything, things have kind of slowed down with building out. The whole idea with that cell hasher is it does have a USB port on it that allows you to control all the phones through a control board or through a computer, whatever it may be. And so we do have we've got a few Python scripts. They're actually on GitHub that you can run today that work with some of the phones. And those will actually start up. It'll boot up the phone. It'll launch userland. It'll launch the miner. If userland ever crashes, it'll restart userland, restart the miner. We do have those in place, but we're working on building out some additional things for some other phones. Those commands were kind of built specifically for one line of phones. And that's kind of where we are with the cell hasher right now. They did send me that unit to review, and so that I could help them work on some development of some scripts and how we can find other ways to leverage that. In fact, I've been using it for other various reasons too. So I actually loaded it up for a short time. I loaded it up with NerdMiner devices because it's got USB ports, and I had a whole lot of USB 32 dev boards sitting around. You can just plug those in, and it provides enough power that all of those can hash within that case. And it's got fans and everything. Those don't run hot, so they don't use a lot. But if you had like the Bitcoin USB miners or the FutureBit Moonlander 2s or any of those USB ASICs that used to be super popular, like the Gecko Science ones, you can just plug those in, plug that unit into a control board, fire up, or like an Orange Pi or even a computer, fire up CG Miner, and it'll find all those devices and it'll hash them all. It really is the same as just having a, really is the same as having a USB hub for the most part. That's pretty much what it is. It's got a separate additional power connector that you can use if you remove the batteries from the phones that you can provide a separate power to. But in the end, that's essentially what it is. I can pull it up real quick. But if you guys are going to be at Litecoin Summit, Luke will be there. He's actually speaking on a panel on day 2. Not the ESP32s, Rick. The Gecko Science, like the new packs and the Tupac, that whole line. You know what I'm talking about. The all the USB ASICs, and then like the FutureBit Moonlander 2. Okay, it sounds good, Micah. Yeah, I will let you know. It's Tupac. You know it's Tupac. Okay. Don't be dissing it. It's not Tupac. It's Tupac. Okay. All you influencers have been saying it wrong. So this is what the cell hasher looks like inside. Now, these specific phones are missing the enclosure, the case, but I have my phones currently slotted in this, and they're on Accurast, which is a kind of like a supercomputing AI platform that is made to run on mobile phones. I can actually log into that real quick. I've got 4 phones on this thing that have been running for a while. Oh, it looks like there's actually an update. So these 4 phones are all running. They all have a score of 1, which is good. And one of the cool things, I know I showed this in my last stream, but one of the cool things with this platform is that if you want to actually run a deployment, you can basically build out your script all within this dashboard, and you can tell it to use any of the public processors, or you can use your personal processor. So if I wanted to run a job on my own hardware, I could do that. Or if I wanted to run a job on somebody else's hardware and I had their processor address, I could run it specifically on their device. So yeah, so Kevin Miller, what devices do you have? So this is one of the challenges that I ran into with the Cell Hasher, is that when I was using the A03S and I was hashing on all 8 cores, full bore at the same time, it was discharging faster than it was recharging. And so for that, I wasn't able to use it with keeping the batteries in it. And we ran into an issue soldering the power connector. So we tried putting the phones into a batteryless mode that would allow us to run it without batteries in it and have the power connector soldered direct onto the circuit board. And we ran into an issue. Okay, so Orbic Joys work amazing. In fact, this case was pretty much, I will say that Luke is running pretty much all Orbic Joys for the most part. And a lot of the, in fact, all the scripts that he built are around the Orbic Joy. So all the scripts that are out there are made for that. He's running like 30 of these cases. He's got a few hundred Orbic Joys, I believe, running. And so for that, it works great. You do have to solder a connector. They come with the wires. They're probably kind of hard to see. So these wires here, basically this edge has to be cut, and then the connector that's on the battery has to be cut, and the positive and negative LEDs have to be soldered together. But once you do that, you can run the phone without the battery in it, plugged into this unit. So the USB port will plug into the USB, and then right below it, it's a little hard to see, but there's a whole line of power ports that each of these connectors plug into. And so the USB is used for data only. It's not used for charging. And then Dave, we should talk. We should talk about this. And then the power will basically come out of that. There's basically a second 5-volt rail that runs along the bottom of this for these connectors. And we were having a problem with my A03Ss. Like, they weren't powering on. We couldn't figure out why. They had enough voltage. They should have powered on. As soon as I put the battery in it, it powered right on. It's basically, choosing the BMC connector. And there is some of the phones, and this is why it varies by phone. Some of them have like inline resistors in those BMCs that step it down. And if you go outside of the range, like if their projected range is 4.9 volts to 5.1, and you're only providing 4.89, then it won't work. Or if you're providing more than 5.1, it won't work. Like it detects over voltage. You need to spoof. So what I did was I left the sensor plugged in. So on the A03S, the sensor is built into the casing, and it has a separate port on the inside of the phone on the circuitry from the battery. So we shouldn't have had to spoof it, but Luke did say he made some progress, and he has another customer that is running A03Ss successfully. So I think I just need to have a chat with him and figure out what they did differently that I didn't do. So that's kind of where we are on this. And this is a big reason I haven't done a follow-up video yet. Waiting to have a conversation with him, figure out what we could do. The other thing that does work with the A03S that I was using as well is if you get if you get charging cables, so instead of using these connectors, if you get charging cables that are 2-wire instead of 4-wire. So if you looked at my Verus mining videos and those, the swivel head cables I use, those are actually 2-wire. So they don't have data pass through. They only have charging. Those work and they charge the phones perfectly fine in the case. But you need to start the miner, set it in there. Then you can't use the control board part of it. So you're sacrificing the control board part, which is really what makes these advantageous in addition to the fans. So, hey, T-Gig. So more to come on the cell hasher. Hopefully we have a good solution soon. But these are, I do like these because any USB powered device, you really can run in these. In fact, I was running a handful of Orange Pis in it as well. So the quad core Orange Pi 0. So it's the Orange Pi 02W. I think it's this one. Yeah. This has a quad core A55, I believe. It's the H618, but I think it's basically an A55, or it's an A53. And this has USB-C power. So I ran a right angle adapter out of this, plugged it right on the board, and plugged a bunch of these in. And they hash perfectly fine with the cell hasher running all 4 cores on Verus Coin. Yeah, I know, Rick. And then they only get like 2 to 3 mega hash on Verus, but you can also run Rainbow Miner on these, and they do pretty decent on the Yes Power algo. So I was running a few of these, and you can buy these super cheap. They're like $10 a board. But like Rick said, it's a very weak CPU. But because it's low power, it can get plenty of power from the USB port. And it slots right in these grooves. So you could run 20 of them if you wanted to. But at that rate, you're better off with just like 2 Orange Pi 5s. All right, let's see what else. All right, so we talked Verus. Let's double check that Verus transfer. We got to convert currencies. Yeah, you can use it for pretty much anything, which is nice. I've got a lot of low power devices just sitting around. So all right, so we can still see it's in ascent status, hasn't fully converted yet. Schmidt stream. Yeah, not happening. That is one thing that will not happen. I promise you. All right, let's talk about Zealous, I guess. Actually, I ran a poll, didn't I? Everybody vote in the poll. All right. Who is mining Zealous? Let's start with that. Has anybody switched their hardware to Zealous? Full disclaimer, I have not mined Zealous until today, ever. So I threw a little bit of hardware on it just for fun. A couple devices. And I named it FPGA_1. To see what backlash I get. So that'll be fun. So let's see here. I did this about an hour ago. So one of the interesting things is, let me pull this back up. No, Rick's not. July 20th. I don't know what's happening on July 20th. I'm out of the loop. Okay, so you got 340 kilohash all track. Yeah, I only have like 40. I get 42 on here. So, but what I did is I called it FPGA1 to for a little giggle for them, because one of the things that they said is, one of the things they said is that they will allow FPGAs to exist on the network if the hash rate isn't wildly above the top of the line GPU, which right now the 4090. Why I can talk about that in a little bit. So the 4090 gets, I think, around 40 kilohash or so. The V35P will get around 44 at like a third of the power. So it will be a lot more efficient. So it looks like there's a chance we might be getting a bit stream. The devs may allow that, the zealous devs may allow those to live on the network. So, and with the whole new line of Osprey FPGAs that are coming out, that looks pretty good. Is Alex still here? I know earlier on Alex was making a comment about Osprey. Yep. So Alex, can you repost what you posted? I lost it. It was about Osprey. That's all I saw. Are you trying to get a sponsorship from them, or what do you want FPGAs? All right. So Alex, were you on the stream on 4th of July when I was talking about the new FPGAs they're releasing? You're trying to get them to sponsor video for you? Okay. I don't know if they do direct sponsorships. I actually don't even have an affiliate link with Osprey. I cover their content, but all the FPGAs I have, I bought from them, brand new, and I used Mikhail's. Okay. So I can cover it real quick. So I've been telling everybody to use Mikhail's affiliate link. Now, I do know that they sent him like their Helium miner and they sent him some smaller stuff. As far as FPGAs, I don't know if they're going to send out an actual FPGA unit. Okay, good. Yeah, Molly's a really good person. So the two people that you met at Mining Disrupt are the two people that I worked with to create the Oval Bore Edition E300 or the E100. And that was, so that one was basically, they reached out to me. I didn't even approach them. They found out, that Eric wanted that specific car, which they never released. And they ended up releasing it. And they reached out and they said, hey, we'd like to laser etch in the circuit board, Oval Board Tech Edition. And so I worked with them. We settled on the control plate so that it was external. And we basically worked through all of that. We went through multiple iterations, got the design all worked out. They sent me the sample to review and approve. They sent me a massive stack of the control board plates and never charged me for any of it. Never really asked for time, expense, anything. So they were super good about everything with that Oval Bore Edition. And they're for every one they sell, they're donating $100 to Oval's foundation, his family and the foundation. So they've been super good with it. I love those guys at Osprey. They've been super good to me. This is the other thing, Alex, and you and I can talk about this offline, but as a content creator, I had an issue with 2 FPGA boards over the past year. They replaced them even though they were out of warranty because I created content on their devices. They certainly didn't have to do that, but they did. Zero charge. I sent them my board, and as soon as they received it, they sent me a replacement. So the total downtime from when my chip went bad was like 3 days because they're in Texas. So yeah, they're super good with that. And they helped me troubleshoot everything. Like even before I sent it in, like we were trying to figure out if it was if it was a scratch trace or what was causing it. The recent issue I had was like the chip was there, it was recognized, but it looked like the JTAG wasn't working with the chip. We went through, I sent them in like high def pictures of everything. We couldn't figure out, everything looked fine on the board. So I sent it to them. Instead of them like going through diagnosing it and everything, they just sent me a replacement. So super, super good on the support side. And that's one of the things you have to watch with FPGAs. You're not dealing with new hardware. So the PCBs that they make, those are new. But the chip itself, the FPGA chip, is like 10-year-old tech. It's not brand new tech, right? It's tech that's been ran in data centers for like 10 years. So that's one of the things you have to keep in mind. Now there are so this is basically what the board looks like. And this has all the circuitry. So this has the VRM, it's got the power delivery, it's got the JTAG for actually programming the bit stream to the FPGA chip, has everything built in. It's got the HBM memory on the FPGA chip. Everything is there in this board. No, it is. It is very similar. So if you go back and look at this, what you'll see is there is a data cable that goes from the control board to the hash board. So it's essentially, it's pretty much like an S9 chassis. And then there is a data cable that goes to the top of the hash board. I call it a hash board, but it's really just their PCB with a chip. So you don't get new chips. That's the thing. FPGAs do not need to be refreshed. So there is the data centers that use FPGA cards. Hey, Vistang, thanks for gifting subs. Appreciate you as always. Let's see if there's actually work on this stream. We've been having issues with. You'll be here pretending you understand. If you get gifted a membership, can you drop me a comment and let me know? Because the last 3 streams we've had today, this stream, Randy's stream, and Frankie Candle's stream, we're not getting like the notice of who received the memberships like we normally do. So I just want to make sure people are actually getting memberships from the drops. So let me know. Let's hear what Dave say. Yeah, Dave's going to be working with Osprey. Oh, and that's the other thing that Dave has worked with. He worked with Mikkel when Mikkel and Nemesis had their hosting facility. They had a client that had a handful of E300s, and he did custom length cables. So similar to the S9, these are powered by 6-pin connectors. So each hash board has 2 6-pins, and then the control board has 1 6-pin. And so Dave has, I believe they were on his old website. I don't know if they're on the new website or not, Dave. But on the old website, he had the APW3, these. So he's got the 10. You need 7 to power an E300. So you could get a custom 7 made for you instead of 10. That way you don't have 3 extra. But you can get custom APW3 or APW7 cables from Dave. Let's see here. Oh, new website has it. All right. All right, we'll get a new website. Here they are. Yep. So same thing on the new website. So they work APW3 or APW7. Yeah. And yeah, there's a few people that have been running immersion. Yeah, thanks, Alexandra. Yeah, so basically the APW3s, if you take the enclosure off, there's basically two terminals. There's a positive terminal and a ground terminal. These just screw right down in. They like, I think they're like a bolt and nut. They go right back down in. So Dave's going to be doing immersion, which would be super cool. Let's hear. All right, good stuff. Yeah, Dave's working directly with Osprey on these solutions, so that'll be super nice. Hopefully, at some point in the future, we'll see these ship with the power supplies directly. That would be nice as well, at least as an option. That power supply. Why is everybody asking for a wrench? Oh my gosh, people. So Alex, the other thing that I talked about on the July 4th stream is Osprey, and you might know this because you're at Mining Disrupt. Osprey is releasing an additional line of E300s. So they have created a reballing process. They're the first ones to figure out how to do this. And they now have the ability to reball VU7Ps, additional VU9Ps, VU11Ps, and VU13Ps. And so what that means is we're going to get a whole lot of FPGAs coming out, and they're going to be supporting the whole line of the Vertex Ultra Scales. So if you look at the Vertex Ultra Scale Plus, and you look at, I don't know if this is the full listing or not. No, those are the eval boards. Kind of a pain to find, but there's their spec sheet. If you look at it, it lists all the units. So here you can see this is the SOM. So this is a little bit different because this has CPU on it, but they're not going to support the 5P, I don't think, but the 7P, 9P, 11P, and then also the 13P. In addition to the 35 and 33, they already do. And so that's going to open up a whole new world of available chips at a lot lower price. So we're probably going to see what I'm going to call affordable FPGAs coming out soon. People might think the price is still high, but the thing you have to understand with FPGAs is they were never created in abundance. And so, like, if you look at, even if we come back and we look at device family for FPGAs, notice what you see is the UltraScale Pluses. Even though these are essentially like 7 to 10-year-old tech, they're the latest and greatest from Xilinx. It's because hopefully they go out. It's essentially, it is the latest and greatest. When we're dealing with FPGAs, because of the development involved in them, you basically get an array of cyclones. Affordable. Yes, I say affordable. They will probably be, I don't know what the price will be. I can tell you that, like, right now on eBay, what I was seeing are VU7P chips were in like the $500 range. 9Ps are in the like $600 range, but you can also get the 13Ps now in the $500 range. Those chips, when they came out, like during the 2021, I shouldn't say when they came out, when they were made in the mining boards in 2021 or 2020 and 2019, they were $6,000. So when I say affordable, it is affordable. Now Rick brings up the Cyclones. What's interesting about the Cyclones is in 2019, before the retro gaming craze with FPGAs, you could go on eBay or you could go on Amazon and you could buy Cyclone FPGAs for $40. Full dev kits, $40. Easy peasy. Buy them all day long. And then you could mine Digibyte with them. The AutoCrypt was open source. It still is open source, the AutoCrypt algo and the Bitstream. You can mine it with those. But then what happened was they created the Mr. FPGA using those chips, which is basically retro gaming emulation via FPGA. And then they got bought up. So that in a combination with, I know Dynex, that's what they were using on the original CryptoNight algo. The CryptoNote Bitstream is open source as well. In fact, a lot of people were looking at this over the past couple days because of the Zealous fork. Zealous is running CryptoNight algo in Zealous V2. So fun. That's what's kind of been going on in that realm. There are still things that you can run. Oh, you got one, John? Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, Mister's definitely a great, it is a great project. And there's a new line that came out a couple months ago. I forget what those FPGAs are. They're super cheap. But they're aiming to be like an alternative to the Mister project. But the cores that are created for those are phenomenal. It's done a lot for the retro gaming industry. So, especially since everything since COVID, it was just kind of this big thing where if you got FPGAs in 2019, you're really good. Like John Germain, I think you still have the F1 minis, don't you? Or the mini pluses? I know you had a bunch of them. They're still really good units. And John, if you have them still, there's a couple coins that there's like no miners on right now. In fact, one of the coins I'm the only miner on. If you want to throw some hash rate on it, you could stack a whole lot of coins. Thanks, Dave. Take care. See you. Yeah, you have the F1 Mini Plus Plus. Okay. Yeah, so like if you don't mind burning the 50 watts of power or whatever, there's a few coins you can take a look at. Actually, a couple of them are what I'm mining. So Innova is a good one. Right now, I have a private pool for it, so I have all the hash rate on that network, I believe. This is my pool. Yeah, I have all the hash rate that is on that coin right now. So I'm basically hitting all the blocks right now. And then, so this is an option. This uses the Tribus algo, which is supported on that device. And then Pupacoin, this is another one. So Innova, I covered this. I showed the wallet in my last video, but this is, it's staking, it's masternode, everything. So you can mine and you can stake the coins in the wallet. And then Pupacoin's another one. That's kind of like a meme coin that is also on that algo. And there's virtually no hash rate on this thing. So this is another option you could do as well, which should be super good. And then there's Frogcoin. Now, Frogcoin has a significant amount of hash rate. And these are all on exchanges. They're just small volume. So ZegX. But if you look at it, there's tons of buy orders on this thing. Like if we look at just the buy orders, there's over 4.4 million in buy orders of coins. Oh gosh, Demi, I haven't looked at Demi forever. Not since I told Oval to mine it. I have not looked. Hey, Smokey Dan. There's no pools for it. Did it switch? Did it switch to full proof of stake? I haven't even looked at Demi forever. How many here? 131 coins. That's a lot for Demi. Whew. So you've got private. You also have digital note. This is another one you could mine with your F1 pluses. So something to take a look at if you wanna take a gamble. With them only using like 30 to 50 watts, it might be worth it just to put one on and stack a bunch of coins. That's kind of what I'm doing with Innova. Is I'm actually stacking a whole lot of coins with it. That is still running. I don't have the wallet open right now. Gotta open the wallet. But I have just a Squirrel Acorn on it. So it's only using like 5 to 7 watts of power. All right. We'll let that open. So yeah, you might want to take a look at that. I haven't even looked at the the F1 Plus. I think it's the original. They don't have the plus on here. Oof. It's the same as the F1 Ultra, I believe. Yeah, check it and see. You should have. I know they're not listed here, but it should support. Oh, K12's the other one. This is Aeon. This is another one worth looking at. I did a video on this a while back. I was solo mining this with a F1 and getting lots of blocks. So this is another one to take a look at as well. It doesn't have a whole lot of hash rate. I think the regular F1 was doing like 5 gigahash or something like that. Squirrel Acorn little nuts. Yeah. I wish I could find more Squirrel Acorns. If anybody in the stream has Squirrel Acorns, I don't care which model, tell me. I will buy them. I want like 20 more of them because I'm crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. I think that was all the topics I had. Anybody have any questions? We can do a quick AMA. Actually, let's take a look at the pool. So, all right. So 15% said other in the pool for CPU mining. If you said other, what coin would you recommend CPU mining if it was you? And to give a little context to this, I'm going to be putting my CPUs in more of a passive mode where I'm not going to be like monitoring a lot of CPU coins. I'm basically going to set them on a coin and just let them live there. I'm leaning towards Verus just because I've been heavily into the Verus project since 2019. And that's kind of, I mean, Verus is on all the exchanges I use. It's easy to liquidate if I want to liquidate it or swap it into other coins. We can take a look at Etika too. See how Etika's doing. I'm still mining Etika with my FPGAs and dumping it daily. Oh, so lovely. Etika is up 33%, which is lovely because I have not dumped it yet today. So let's see. what the profitability is of the E300 right now. 300s are doing 280 a day profit. This is at 5 cent power. Yeah. So 280 a day profit on Attica right now, which is pretty nice. I will. I'll be dumping it after this stream for sure. So I've been swapping Attica for we can talk about Zephyr. I've been swapping Attica for Pigeon Coin. So I'm about to get 33% more Pigeon Coin than I thought I was going to get. So that is nice. There's a reason behind this, which I covered on my last stream. So Zephyr. Let's talk about Zeph. All right. Zeph has 3 tokens to it, if you will. And what it is it's got a protocol token. This is what everybody's mining. It also has a stable coin, and then it's got a reserve token. So the project itself is essentially an algorithmic stable coin. I know I get a lot of backlash when I say that. People say it's not algorithmic, but essentially it is. What you have is you've got a stable coin, which should be at $1. Hopefully it is. It's currently at 96 cents. So it's not even pegged properly right now. This thing should be at $1 if it's properly pegged. And you can see the last time it was at $1 was June 30th. So like 2 weeks ago. The reserves, this is in preview only, they don't even show me, is supposed to be used to back that. However, if you look at the FAQ on their website, they only have so much in reserves, which at scale is not enough. And so at that point, like when I look at this, the only thing I think is, all right, if this thing depegs, they don't have enough reserves, they're going to have to dip into the protocol in order to basically provide that liquidity needed to repeg that stable coin. So I have big concerns with Zeph for that reason alone. Big problems. So I don't mind Zeph. I don't hold Zeph. I've never mined Zeph. It's just it's a personal thing with the project. This is very similar to what Haven was trying to do. Now Haven, I did mine a whole lot of in like 2019, like 2018, 2019, that bear market. Haven was super profitable on Polaris GPUs. But you can see this is kind of similar. They aim to be like a stable coin, and they're not doing well. Let's just say they are not doing well. If we look at the year, they're down 81% on the year. So not great. Definitely not great. All right. Let's see. I already do that with Verus. I don't. You're doing Warthog. Okay. Yeah, I have not done any Warthog either. I do know that they're upgrading the Verus 2.2, which I found very interesting because that upgrade on Verus was for public blockchain as a service, but they said they're stripping out that functionality. I'm not 100% sure why they're moving to 2.2 unless it's just for miner compatibility with like the Verus miners. That's the only thing I can think of. Right now, my GPUs are on Rainbow Miner, swapping to Bitcoin. I'm actually trying to get some payouts. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Trezor and Ledger. So I'm currently looking at getting another hardware wallet to basically build a portfolio of long-term holdings that are isolated from what I already have. Basically starting clean, fresh, brand new long-term holdings. And the Trezor Safe 5 is available for pre-order now. I think they're actually shipping now. And they added quite a bit of functionality to this. It has secure element chip. It's basically a replacement for the Model T. And it supports pretty much all the currencies that I want to hold, with the exception of one or two. And then that led me down taking a look at Ledger, because I opened my Ledger Live and I noticed they added a slew of coins to Ledger Live, to my surprise. And they all work on the Nano S Plus and the Nano X. So if we take a look at coins, if we take a look at Caspa, they support Caspa now. So Caspa is supported. Vertcoin is supported. So in the past, I had to use Trezor for storing Vertcoin, Digibyte, all kinds of coins. They support Digibyte. They even support Firo now. And this all works in the Ledger Live app. So there's a slew of, and also Bitcoin Gold they added. I believe BTG's in here. So a lot of the coins that I hold and use long-term kind of use, like procuring hardware 4 years down the line, that type of thing, they support. So I am considering actually waiting for the stacks to come out officially and picking up one of those. I know that they have some review units out, and everything looks super good with these. I still have my one key. I use my one key as my trading wallet. Super happy with it. It supports new coins. It's got Nor AI. It's got Dynax now. It's got a bunch of coins. So I still like it for trading and just short-term holds, but I'm looking for something more long-term. And so I'm thinking about getting another ledger, probably the stacks, and putting a lot of long-term crypto on it. Let's hear. K-Trim, need to get my phones back online. Yeah. We can check the Verus hash rate real quick. I haven't looked at it lately. Yeah, it has its highs and lows. It's still pretty low. 800 gigahash is a good number to kind of be at. Let's see. All right, Smuggy Dan says he's got his CPUs on Monero and GPUs getting BTC on 2 rigs. And are you using unminable? Are you using Rainbow Miner? What are you using for? Are you use hash? What are you using for your auto convert? Are you just periodically converting? Let me see what time Hawk's going live. Okay, Hawk's going live in a half hour. I guess we can go a little bit longer and we can just raid him. You're using unminable. Nice. I've got some things on Zergpool because I've got getting close to that payout. I'm at 86% payout threshold on Zergpool. So right now, I actually have I've got my Bico BK G28 ASIC pointed to Zerg pool, converting to Bitcoin to try to get closer to that payout. I also have a rig of RX 562 gig cards that are mining Bitcoin to Zerg pool and converting. So this is kind of what the breakdown looks like. I know it's a lot. 46% of those rewards right now that I'm getting pending are from that ASIC. 20% are from Bitcoin. Oh, nice. Zealous. Oh, okay. Did Unmineable add Zealous V2 already? And then Purecoin. This is, I threw a couple S9s on here the other day to get some rewards to try to get closer to that payout. And then the rest of these are pretty much from Rainbow Miner. One thing that I noticed is Zaya, so Space Expanse, and also Zaya should be in here somewhere, have been super profitable on the 4060. So I have a 4060 low profile in an X300 chassis, and Zaya has been, it's been like 60 cents a day with that single 4060. It's been super good. That is Neoscript, Zaya, this one. So both of these coins. So it's been fluctuating between Zaya and then Space Expanse. Oh, nice. They were ready as soon as... Oh, and then they were just rejecting. Oh, nice. That is cool. I've got some 5900s on it right now. So I've got these are, I got a couple of these machines. So these have the Ryzen 9 5900 OEM. So it's basically a underclocked 65 watt version of the 5900X. So it's the OEM version. Yeah, the Return 3060 Ti V1. Yeah, so these they're clocked at 3.2, but they're still 12 core, 24 thread, have 64 megs of L3 cache. So they're doing around 12.5 kilohash on Zealous V2. So yeah, they've got 64 megs of L3 on them. So these are super good. I really like these CPUs. They're just super hard to find. They're extremely hard to find because they are 12 core, 24 thread at 65 watt TDP. Let's see. All right, we talked about the F1 pluses. We talked about the phones. I still have a couple tablets online on Verus. Couple Amazon Fire tablets. We didn't talk about RISC-V. Rick, are you still here, or Rick have to drop? We can take a look at RISC-V on Amazon, I guess. Actually, that's it? Yeah. Really? Okay. Nice. Okay, yeah, so these 5900s I actually have at 0.9 volts. And then so it's a 0.9 volts, 3.2 gigahertz. So I was able to take them way down on the voltage. Now, that's the lowest that the X300 boards will let you go. So those chassis are a little bit different. They're kind of like a large mini PC, if you will. Pull those up on ASRock. Where do you sell mine, Verus? You can sell it on TradeOgre, would probably be my recommendation. You can also sell it on SafeTrade. So this is what I have the 5900s in. So this is the DeskMeet X300. And it's basically a bare bones unit that you can buy. I get mine from Newegg. They're like $170, but it includes the power supply. It includes the board, which is it's kind of like an ITX board, but it's got 4 DIMM slots in it. And then it's got 1 X16 slot. It's got built-in Wi-Fi, or it comes with a Wi-Fi adapter. So there's 2 M.2 slots on it. There's you can kind of see them here. The bottom one is for like Wi-Fi, and then the top one is for your actual drive. Then AM4 socket, and you can run the Kohler. You have to run smaller Kohlers in them. You can run like the Wraith Stealth or a Noctua low profile. These work pretty well though. They do have some cooling issues if you run like bigger GPUs in them. They do have a max depth of 200 millimeters, so you're kind of limited on the GPUs you can run. I recommend like the ITX GPUs on these, but I'm running a few of these. These are nice. And they're always nice if you want to just convert it to a node box or whatever. Super easy to do. Nice having the 12 core 24 thread. We can double check various markets. It is, so TradeOgre, non-KYC, SafeTrade, GravEx. Those are your exchanges that you want to use for Verus. So if you're looking to sell for like cash, you'd probably want to, on TradeOgre, you'd probably want to sell it for BTC, convert BTC to Litecoin, and then send Litecoin to Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, whatever exchange you use to actually cash out. Crypto.com, whatever it might be. All right. Let's see if I can. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if we can set up to Raid Hawk. I think he's going live soon. 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes. Any other questions? Anything you want me to talk about? Let's see. Let me hop in the studio. Let's see. You could do USDT. Live coverage of LTC Summit. So that's a very good question. Depending on what the coverage is like inside the convention center. It's not in the convention center. It's inside the Margaritaville Hotel on the 2nd floor. So coverage should be decent. Yeah, so we'll talk about Litecoin Summit here in a second. I'll pull up the itinerary. The K-Trim asked, let's hear. So K-Trim wants to know, is there a way to manage phones other than the cell hasher? If you are running the GUI, if you're in the Android GUI miner, then yes, they have a remote management tool. If you're not running that, you can always do VNC to remote into all of your phones. That's another option to do it. So that is something that, you know, you can kind of set up. The GUI miner is actually kind of cool because you can set up profiles, like mining profiles. And if you had different wallet addresses, and you can bulk apply them to all your miners. But that only works if you're running the GUI miner. And keep in mind, like what we're building for the cell hash for those Python scripts, if you're running like a USB hub, powered USB hub, those will work for you too. Once we get those scripts built out. Tech Bandit wants to know, Verus staking, what are your thoughts on that? So I do like Verus staking. You get to retain custody of your own coins in your wallet. However, you do need to keep the wallet running. So it's really up to you. It's definitely nice because each block is like 6 coins. Plus, if there's on-chain activity happening, you have that opportunity to get a lot more coins as well. I like that you don't have to delegate. You don't have to give up custody of your coins to do staking. I am a fan of all in-wallet staking. So I don't personally stake my Verus really that much. Typically, a lot of my Verus holdings are in a offline wallet, and I just don't want to bring that wallet online. So for that reason, I don't stake a lot of Verus. I also like some of the systems I'm running wallets on are just like mini PCs. I just like to have them, and then I keep backups on encrypted drives. So for me, I don't do staking just because I don't want that wallet online all the time. But for the most part, it's always a good idea, especially with Verus, because it's 50% proof of work blocks, 50% proof of stake blocks. So that you do have a pretty good chance of hitting a block. And I know people that have hit blocks with as low as like 10 Verus in their wallet or 6 Verus in the wallet. You don't have to hold a lot. Oh, thanks, Tommy T. Really appreciate it. How long does it take? It's all luck. It's whether you're selected to win that block or not. You could have 100 coins in there and not see a reward for a year, or you might see 10 in a month. It's totally random. There's like a projection calculator that if you're in the wallet and you go to the mining tab, you go Verus, and if you turn staking on, then this will give you, I think you have to turn it on first to see the projection. Yeah. So if you turn it on, I think it's turning on. Okay. And then in here, you can put like your projected coins. So if you had 100 coins, you're projected to get 1 block a year. And that is they say it's a projected ROI of 108%. I think they're basically just basing that off of a block. But then you could see if you had 1,000 coins, then you would get almost a block a month. So depending on how much you want to hold and stake in your wallet is going to give you a better chance of hitting a block. But you always have that chance of hitting it with just like 1 coin. Let's see. All right, let's talk about Litecoin Summit real quick. All right, so Litecoin Summit is happening in a couple weeks, and it's 2 days long. Now, I will be in Nashville on So I'll be in Nashville July 23rd, 24th, 25th, and then I'll also be there for Bitcoin conference as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any live streaming from the Bitcoin conference. I did have a couple companies reach out to me. They want to meet at Bitcoin. So there might be some content coming out of that around some ASIC manufacturers, things like that. There's also some other people in the crypto space that want to have meetings with me. So there might be some content out of those that are not live. But it's probably going to be a madhouse. It's at the convention center downtown, and Trump's going to be there. RFK's going to be there. Vivek's going to be there. Michael Saylor's going to be there. Russell Brand's going to be there. There's a whole slew of celebrities, personalities, politicians that are going to be there. It's probably going to be very difficult to do live streaming with all the noise and everything in the convention center. Hopefully Litecoin Summit be a little bit different. It'll be a little bit more relaxed. For those in the community, you probably know Randy Hipper. She's on here somewhere right here. She will be speaking day one. So I will try to live stream her presentation. That one is towards the end of the day. I think it's like around 4 o'clock Central Time. And then Luke Wright, who is co-founder of Litecoin Labs, he's the one who owns sellhasher.com. He's the one that created the Sellhasher, or he didn't create the unit, but he's the one that sells Sellhasher. He will be speaking on day 2 at a panel. So I will try to live stream his as well. If we take a look at the schedule, real quick, we've got Charlie Lee, founder of Litecoin. He's going to be kind of opening up. BitPay is going to be speaking. There's going to be a Stack Mobile. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of MWeb talk, Bitcoin Ethereum talk, Lightning Network talk, Litecoin mining from Nathan Poole. So that's the other thing. Locotech is one of the premier sponsors. So hopefully I can do something with Locotech while they're there. We'll kind of see how that goes. Smart contracts for Litecoin, Litecoin payments, and then regulation of crypto with Dennis Porter. And then Bitmain is doing a presentation as well. I will try to do this one as well. I'll try to live stream this one if I can. I'm expecting this is where they're going to announce the L9 or provide more insight into the L9, would be my guess. This is a Litecoin conference, very Litecoin centric. So hopefully that's what their presentation is going to be about. Randy is speaking at 4:30 p.m. Central. So I will do my best to live stream hers. It should be like a 20-minute presentation. And then that kind of wraps up the day. And then we have a big party at Rooftop Club that night. And then day 2, we've got Naomi and Phil are doing a fireside chat MWeb update. So if you're not familiar with MWeb is basically like a privacy layer. It's Mimblewimble on Litecoin. So it's actually built into Litecoin Core. SXC will not be there on MacBeats, and then you're going to be devastated. And then let's see here. Vlad will be there talking about the Litecoin magazine. And let's see. Cake Wallet and MWeb. We'll probably be talking about the MWeb integration into Cake Wallet. And then Impact of Ordinals. This is going to be the presentation that Luke, or the panel that Luke's going to be a part of. So that'll be a 30-minute panel. And then there will be a conversation around retirement. So 401k. And then crypto adoption. And then there's a keynote. And then an update on the Lite wallet. And then a kind of closing things out, there'll be a big Litecoin Foundation panel discussion. And this will most likely be talking about like the roadmap for Litecoin for the next year. So I will try to live stream what I can based on connection availability. And then there might be, I'll be meeting up with some people from like Randy's community like the day before the convention. So there might just be like some random live streams that happen with us. There might just be some like quick conversations, things like that happen. So that is going to happen for Litecoin. That's going to be the 24th and 25th. And then the Bitcoin Nashville is going to be all right, this one's going to be a lot more chaotic. They're not going to show the agenda. No, really? Here it is. Okay. So Thursday, and again, I'm going to be meeting with a bunch of people when I'm there, but I'm going to try to cover any of the mining related panels if I can. So Fabiano Consulting is doing a mining strategies panel. There's a dedicated mining stage. Let's see right here. So these are everything that's mining centric. So they're doing an insurance one as well for having like rider policies for your mining equipment. And then James, yep, will do. And then impact of mining policy and regulation, Bitcoin balance sheet. So that's treasury management stuff, scaling. This is going to be with Compass Mining. And then Blockware is going to be talking about diversification, and Blockspace and Luxor are going to be there to talk about some hash rate stuff. And then, so that's on Thursday. And then on Friday, Bitcoin green mining is going to be a thing. AI mining is going to be a big thing. There's going to be an announcement from MicroBT. So MicroBT is the company that makes the What's Miner. So there's going to be them probably announcing a new miner. So look forward to seeing what that is, especially if it's like a home miner. They don't typically do that, but it'd be interesting to see. And then Riot will be there with MicroBT. Yeah, this guy's 3 talking about collabs. And then there's going to be an open source mining panel. This one, I'm going to try to stream this one if I can. So this is what, so Scott 9000 is going to be there. He's the one that created the BitAxe project, which is the open source project for the BitAxes. So if he's there, he's putting on that panel. There are a couple BitAxe kind of distributors that are also going to be there that I've been talking to. So I would like to stream this one because this is all about open source mining and people being able to build their devices at home. If no lives, you're right. Yeah, I will do my best to live stream. If anything, there will be a live stream, 1 or 2 that happen outside of the convention center. The quality is probably not going to be great because it's probably just going to be on my phone. I'm not taking like any equipment with me because I'm not going as media coverage. I'm just going as a spectator. But I did have a few companies reach out to me when they found out I was going. So we'll see how those go. And then mining and politics, everybody's favorite subject. And then let's see. Bitcoin mining in the US, post-halving solutions, trade-offs, public versus private mining companies, And then the power generation production credit. And then Saturday is going to be a big day. This is the day that Trump's speaking. So there's going to be a firmware discussion, which is going to be really cool because Vanish, Brains, and Luxor are all going to be part of that. So those are the three big custom firmware companies for BTC mining. So those ones should be good. And then mining centralization pressures. This should be a good discussion with Hut 8 and with Block and Marathon. Hopefully talking about mining centralization. Where's that for YouTube? Got it. Let's see here. Decentralized mining needs open source solutions. So hopefully I'll be able to catch this. This is a 15-minute panel. Maybe I'll be able to stream this one. And worst case scenario, if I can't stream, I will try to record and upload some of them. And again, on Saturday, they're doing another panel with Scott talking about decentralizing hash rate. And a minor discussion on ordinals, immersion, securing the future, talking about Bitcoin mining hardware with BitDeer. So that one should be good. And projected Bitcoin mining in 2050. So those are all topics that we are basically looking at and that we can look to be covered. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know about like all the panels. So you can see we've got Trump, we got Russell Brand, Kathy Wood, Michael Saylor, RFK, Edward Snowden, Bill Miller's going to be there, and then Vivek, Bill Haggerty, Marsha Blackburn, which is our senator here in Tennessee. And then there's a whole slew of people that you will probably recognize from like Twitter, things like that. There's a lot of people that are going to be there. So I just showed you the mining centric ones, but I will try to figure out schedule. There's a lot of people from the mining space that'll be there. I think Terra will be there. I think they might even have a booth. So I'll probably catch up with those guys. And then there are a bunch of people I know from like the trading side of things, the crypto trading side of things that will be there. So we might be doing a couple little pieces of content with them, but we'll see how everything goes. That's kind of what you got to look forward to. If there are any specific panels or discussions or anything that you want me to stream, just let me know and I will do my best. I will be there, but so will a bunch of other content creators. So that is the plan. Now I'm going to see. So Hawk should be going live in about 2 minutes. So I'm going to call it a stream. I put a link to his stream in the chat if you guys want to hop on over to Hawk stream. I think that will be it. What's Ben doing there? The former UFC fighter. Oh. Which one's that? Oh, Ben Askren. So my guess is maybe the influencer club, the karate combat. I don't know. Maybe they're going to have him talk about that. Not 100% sure. We shall see. But yeah, just let me know if you guys want anything in particular streamed. I will do my best. That convention center is big and spread out wide, but the big advantage of this being in Nashville is that the AT&T Towers is in downtown Nashville. So AT&T Towers that provide coverage to all of Southeast US are here. So there absolutely has to be AT&T coverage in that building, or I will riot. No lie. If there's not coverage, I will snap. Automatic Beats wants to know if this will be every Thursday. I will try to. Work pending, health pending. I will do my best to do this every Thursday. Probably not the week of the conference, though. There will be a few weeks it doesn't happen, like when I have work conferences and this BTC conference. Depending on the time, maybe I'll do a later stream, kind of recapping the day. But it definitely won't be at that 6 p.m. time slot for sure. There's a bunch of people from the mining community that are going to be coming in as well. So keep that in mind. But I think that's it for this stream. Go raid Hawk. If you want to check out his stream tonight, Alexander G, thank you as always for stopping by. Appreciate you. Love you. Beats, Moki Dan, Automatic Beats. I didn't forget about your ticket. I am going to send that over to you probably next week for the Litecoin Summit. So keep an eye out for that. T-Gig, thanks. Black Hat, thanks. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.